Just when the world thought the toxic roller coaster ride between Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris had finally reached its absolute limit, the internet just completely fractured. The cameras are officially off, but the real-life horror show has just reached a terrifying point of no return. Yandy Smith has just dropped a devastating, history-altering bombshell that has set shockwaves straight through the entire entertainment industry. She is officially pregnant. But here is the twist that is sending the internet into an absolute tailspin. The child is allegedly not Mendeecees. Enter Michael. Within minutes of this staggering announcement, the illusion of their fragile peace shattered into a million pieces. Sources close to the couple report that Mendeecees' reaction wasn't just angry. It was completely unhinged. We are talking about an extreme, volatile blowout that has officially triggered a brutal, multi-million-dollar legal war that threatens to destroy everything they've built. Custody, assets, reputation. It is all on the line. How did a decade-long romance devolve into a scorched-earth courtroom battle? Who is the mysterious Michael? And just how far are Mendeecees willing to go to burn it all down? Buckle up because we are diving deep into the chaos. The facade of love and hip-hop royalty has officially cracked, and what lies underneath is a messy, complicated web of broken trust, hidden agendas, and a marriage that was arguably built on a foundation of sand from the very beginning. To truly understand the gravity of Yandy Smith's shocking pregnancy announcement and the explosive legal war that has now erupted, we have to peel back the layers of her turbulent history with Mendeecees Harris. For over a decade, fans watched this couple navigate the highest of highs and the lowest of lows on reality television. They were framed as the ultimate ride-or-die duo. Yandy was the fiercely loyal, highly successful executive who stood firmly by her man, even when Mendeecees was facing serious federal drug trafficking charges that ultimately landed him behind bars for several years. She managed his household, raised his children, defended his name against endless public backlash, and kept their brand alive while he served his time. But, behind the scenes, the cracks were already starting to show long before the federal government even stepped in. Rumors of infidelity, secret communication with other women, and deep-seated resentment had been brewing for years. When Mendeecees finally walked out of those prison doors and transitioned back into regular life, the reality of their situation hit them like a freight train. The dynamic had completely shifted. Yandy had grown accustomed to being the sole decision-maker, the undisputed breadwinner, and the absolute anchor of the family. Mendeecees, on the other hand, struggled to find his footing in a world that had moved on without him, leading to intense power struggles that frequently spilled over onto the reality TV cameras. Tension between them palpable, transitioning from minor disagreements over household rules to full-blown screaming matches about respect, control, and loyalty. Things took an even darker turn when the couple packed up their lives and moved to Atlanta, joining the cast of Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta. Instead of a fresh start, the move only amplified their existing issues, placing their deteriorating relationship under a massive microscope. The public began to notice that the genuine affection they once shared seemed by a cold business-like arrangement. They were constantly at odds, with Mendeecees frequently expressing discomfort over Yandy's independent lifestyle and her one refusal to cater to his traditional expectations. The internet was flooded with speculation that their marriage was nothing more than a highly calculated contract designed to maximize reality TV paychecks and maintain a lucrative public image. Then came the definitive breaking point that set the stage for the current catastrophe. Whispers began circulating through the Atlanta social scene that Yandy and Mendeecees were no longer sleeping in the same bed, let alone living as a happily married couple. The ultimate confirmation of this hidden divide came when sharp-eyed fans noticed that the two had quietly unfollowed each other on social media, erasing recent photos together and completely ignoring each other's major professional milestones. The Cold War had officially begun in private, but neither side was prepared for how quickly it would turn into a public bloodbath. It was during this period of extreme emotional estrangement that the name Michael began to enter the periphery. While Mendeecees was reportedly focusing on his own ventures and distancing himself from the marital home, Yandy was stepping out, expanding her business network, and allegedly finding solace in the company of a new, wealthy, and highly influential figure. The rumors grew louder, suggesting that Yandy's relationship with this mysterious Michael was far more than just a professional collaboration or a casual friendship. It was a complete departure from the chaos of her life with Mendeecees, offering her a level of peace and security she hadn't felt in years. As the distance between Yandy and Mendeecees grew into an unbridgeable chasm, the stage was quietly being set for an announcement that would not only end their marriage permanently, but would ignite a legal and personal war of unprecedented proportions. The quiet whispers behind closed doors instantly transformed into an international digital wildfire when the official announcement was made. Yandy Smith was pregnant. In the world of reality television commentary and celebrity gossip, a pregnancy announcement is usually met with a wave of congratulatory messages, baby shower planning, and celebratory social media posts. But this time the atmosphere was completely different. The collective jaw of the internet hit the floor because the timeline simply did not add up. Everyone who had been tracking the rapid deterioration of her marriage knew that she and Mendeecees had been living completely separate lives for months. The math wasn't matching, and the streets were already talking. When it was definitively leaked that the father of the unborn child was none other than the mysterious figure known as Michael, the entire narrative shifted from a simple marital split to the ultimate betrayal. The revelation of the pregnancy was the catalyst that pushed Mendeecees entirely over the edge. For a man who has always prided himself on maintaining an image of strict control, respect, and street-certified masculinity, this public revelation was the ultimate disrespect. Sources close to the production camp of Love and Hip Hop report that when Mendeecees first received absolute confirmation of the pregnancy and Michael's involvement, his reaction was nothing short of explosive. It wasn't just a standard argument. It was described as an unhinged, scorched-earth confrontation that completely altered the dynamic between them forever. The anger stems not just from the emotional pain of a dying marriage, but from the massive public humiliation. To have the woman who stood by you through a federal prison sentence publicly move on and start a family with another man, while still legally carrying your last name, was a blow to his ego that he could not tolerate. Almost immediately, the situation devolved from emotional heartbreak into ruthless, calculated legal strategy. Mendeecees did not just sit back and nurse his wounds. He instantly huddled with his high-powered legal team to launch an all-out offensive war. The strategy here is clear: absolute retaliation. Because they have spent over a decade building a massive, multi-million-dollar empire together, the financial stakes in this divorce and legal battle are astronomical. Are talking about shared production companies, lucrative television contracts, high-value real estate assets in multiple states, and joint bank accounts that are heavily tied into their public branding. Mendeecees' legal team immediately filed motions to freeze joint assets, demanding a meticulous forensic audit of all their shared finances to ensure that not a single dollar of their two combined wealth was being redirected toward Yandy's new life or her new child. But the legal warfare didn't stop at the bank accounts. The most toxic and heartbreaking aspect of this entire rollout is the incoming battle over custody and parental rights. Over the years, Yandy and Mendeecees have blended their families, raising children together under one roof, creating deep emotional bonds that are now being used as weapons in a courtroom. Mendeecees is reportedly building a case that paints Yandy as an unfit and unstable environment for the children, using the sudden introduction of Michael and the rapid pregnancy as leverage to demand full primary custody. The legal filings are getting incredibly messy, with allegations flying back and forth regarding parental alienation, emotional neglect, and financial manipulation. Meanwhile, the mystery surrounding Michael only adds fuel to the fire. He isn't just a random rebound. He is a heavily connected individual with his own deep pockets, meaning he isn't intimidated by Mendeecees' legal threats or aggressive public posture. Michael has reportedly stepped in to provide Yandy with an elite legal defense team of her own, turning this into a battle of financial endurance. Yandy is digging her heels in, refusing to be intimidated by the man she once protected at all costs. She is preparing to fight back with counterclaims that could expose dark hidden secrets from Mendeecees' past, secrets that he desperately wanted to keep buried far away from the courtroom. The lines have been drawn, the peace treaties have been burned, and both sides are fully prepared to drag each other through the mud until there is absolutely nothing left to salvage. The courtroom doors have officially closed, and what is happening inside is nothing short of a total scorched earth demolition of a legacy. This is no longer just a messy celebrity breakup that will play out on a future season of reality television. This is a high-stakes multi-million-dollar legal execution where both sides are playing for keeps. As the discovery phase of the lawsuit intensifies, the legal strategy from both camps has shifted from defensive posturing to absolute destruction. Yandy's legal team, backed by the immense financial resources of Mendeecees, has launched a devastating counteroffensive that is aimed directly at Mendeecees' most vulnerable asset: his freedom and his financial survival. They have filed comprehensive counterclaims demanding a strict line-by-line look into Mendeecees' independent business ventures, alleging that he has been hiding substantial amounts of cash in off-the-books accounts to avoid paying proper spousal and child support. The hypocrisy of the situation is what is truly driving the internet insane. For years, Yandy was the one who managed the money, kept the lights on, and protected the family assets while Mendeecees was away. Now Mendeecees is attempting to use the legal system to strip away the very wealth she worked so hard to preserve. But Yandy is no longer the submissive ride-or-die wife who will stay quiet to protect a man's reputation. Her legal team is reportedly preparing to introduce a mountain of digital evidence, including years of archived text messages, emails, and financial receipts that paint a dark, undeniable picture of what life was truly like behind the closed doors of their mansion. These documents allegedly contain evidence of long-term emotional abuse, constant financial draining, and severe marital misconduct that could completely ruin Mendeecees' public image and severely damage his standing with television networks. As the financial assets hang in the balance, the war over the children has reached a terrifying level of toxicity. Blended families are fragile at the best of times, but when a family is torn apart by a high-profile legal battle, the psychological damage is immense. Mendeecees' aggressive push for full primary custody is being viewed by many insiders as a calculated vindictive move designed purely to inflict maximum emotional pain on Yandy during her pregnancy. In response, Yandy's legal team has requested a court-ordered psychological evaluation and a strict supervised visitation schedule for Mendeecees, arguing that his recent volatile public outbursts and history of legal trouble make him a high-risk environment for the kids. The back-and-forth filings have become so malicious that family court judges have had to issue strict gag orders, forbidding either party from speaking about the custody details on social media or to gossip blogs. But a gag order can't stop the streets from talking, and the public fallout is already costing both of them millions of dollars in lost opportunities. Brands, corporate sponsors, and network executives are rapidly distancing themselves from the absolute chaos surrounding the former couple. Endorsement deals are being quietly cancelled, and production companies are hesitant to sign off on new projects while this massive legal dark cloud hovers over their heads. The empire they spent over 10 years building is systematically turning to ash, all because neither side is willing to take a step back, swallow their pride, and settle this quietly behind closed doors. The wild card in this entire equation remains Michael. His presence in Yandy's life has completely shifted the power dynamic. In the past, Mendeecees was used to holding all the leverage because he knew Yandy's deep emotional attachment would always make her capitulate to his demands. But with Michael providing a massive financial cushion and an elite tier of legal protection, Yandy is standing her ground like never before. Michael is reportedly treating this legal war as a matter of personal honor, ensuring that Yandy has access to the best forensic accountants, top-tier defense attorneys, and private security details to handle the immense pressure. This isn't just a divorce anymore. It is a clash of titans, a brutal war of attrition where the victor will be decided not by who is right, but by who has the stamina to survive the absolute destruction of their past life. This leaves us with the ultimate chilling question. Is this truly the absolute end of the line for Yandy and Mendeecees? Or are we just witnessing the opening act of a much larger, far more dangerous war? When you strip away the reality TV cameras, the flashing lights, the fame, and the multi-million-dollar empire, you are left with two people who once promised to ride or die for each other, now actively trying to completely destroy each other's lives. The empire they spent over a decade building in front of our eyes is turning to ash in real time, and there is absolutely no turning back from here. But now, I want to hear from all of you because the internet is completely split down the middle on this entire situation. Do you think Yandy was entirely justified in moving on and finding peace and security with Michael after years of holding down the fort for Mendeecees? Or do you think the way this pregnancy announcement dropped was the ultimate act of public disrespect and betrayal toward a husband who was trying to rebuild his life? Who do you think is going to win this brutal courtroom battle when the dust finally settles? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your raw reactions in the comments section below. You already know I will be down there reading through them and interacting with you all. If you want to stay completely ahead of the curve and never miss a single update on this high-stakes legal war as it unfolds, make sure you smash that like button right now, hit subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you are always the very first to know when the next chapter drops. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it locked right here, and I will see you in the next deep dive.